I'm Katie from Sea with Katie, and I've partnered with AFCO to show you 4 quick and easy steps for a successful Ike Jime. Ike Jime is a method of harvesting a superior quality, more humane fish product. Let's take a look at the process. To avoid allowing blood access to the meat and therefore bacterial access to the meat, it's super important to try and get your gaff in the lower jaw of the fish or the face of the fish. A correct gaff shot is the groundwork for a successful Ike Jime product. The brain spike offers the fish a quick death, preventing the meat from going through biochemical changes brought on by stress reactions. Let's take a minute to discuss where the brain of the fish is located. A good rule of thumb to follow is where the preopercular line, the forwardmost line on the gill plate, meets the lateral line, where the spinal column is located. This generally results in an X marks the spot type of situation, and although access points may vary depending on species, most of the time you can get to the brain easily from the side of the head like we do in this video. You'll know when you hit the brain because your fish will seize up. In this video, I moved my spike around a little bit more because it was a small seize and I knew there was more brain damage to be done. I pinned the fish down with my foot to prevent it flopping on the deck because I don't want the meat to bruise. Bruising is blood access to the meat, so again, you want to avoid that at all costs. I don't put too much pressure on my foot, but I prevent the fish from flopping around. Oftentimes, professionals go as far as using a foam padded mat to lay the fish on to prevent it from bruising. Fish have one main artery. It's called the dorsal artery, and it runs from their head to their tail through their gills. In my opinion, the easiest way to bleed out a fish is to just remove the gills. Cut at the base of the collar and then cut along the edges, and you'll cut every artery available. The science behind this one gets pretty in-depth, but just know this. The Shinkei Wire is an easy way to ensure that the texture and flavor of your fish is sublime. Essentially, you're biohacking the neural receptors that still fire after the death of the fish, delaying the onslaught of rigor and allowing the meat to go through enzymic degradation. Cut the tail, access the vertebrae, find the neural canal, and stick your wire through it. Expect your fish to move while you're passing the Shinkei wire through the neural canal. So, like we did with the brain spike, put a little bit of pressure on it and prevent it from flopping around on the deck to prevent bruising to the meat. I pass the wire from the head to the tail multiple times quickly until it stops moving altogether. When you're done with the Shinkei process, if you haven't already removed the gills from the body, go ahead and just remove them entirely and proceed to the rest of the body cavity. Animals hold bacteria in their blood, their guts, and their skin, so you want to get everything you can out of that cavity. On some fish, it's really hard, so take your time, use the water to rinse it out, and try and get this fish cleaned up as best as possible. Remember, Ike Jime is about quality over quantity, so the more work you put in now, the better the quality of your in-game product. Side note, I do recommend that you do these steps probably down sea of your fishing spot, just to prevent any party pooping tax collectors from showing up. Sharks. I'm talking about sharks. And final step, the ice slurry. 1-to-1 ice and water. It could be fresh or salt water. The ice slurry is intended and designed to reduce the basal temperature of the meat as quickly as possible. This is our final fight against bacteria growth to create the freshest, best tasting fish possible. And that's it. Comment below and let us know how your Ike Jime experience goes. Together, we're working to protect our oceans and conserve our fisheries. Follow Sea with Katie and AFCO for more content like this.